how'd you guys like the Fantastic Four? One, the way they announced it, and two, the cast. What'd you guys think?
First and foremost, I love how super casual they were about it and how it came out of nowhere. That was awesome. I like the way that they announced it. That was pretty creative, just with that artwork. I like that it was. I like how retro it was. It gives off a it gives off a '60s vibe, like with the hell, like the Marvel Studios logo looks like the Fantastic Four logo looks like something straight out of the '60s, even the way that they're dressed and the room they're sitting in. We got friggin' Herbie the robot in the lower left hand corner, who's like synonymous with the '60s. So yeah, I really like it.
The Thing is reading
the magazine. The Thing is reading. It just
is, I believe, the Time magazine from like 1963. Somebody looked it up.
So, yeah. So I hope it is set in the '60s. It would be a good. It would be a good change of pace from. It would set it apart from the other two Fantastic Four, or the three technically Fantastic Four movies, which is probably the best thing you can do. And it would definitely answer the question as to where they've been all this time. Obviously, it'll deal with time travel and the negative zone and the multiverses, which is a good explanation as to how they inevitably end up in present day, and they will, you know. I thought this was a really good way to announce it. The cast was, even though we've heard rumors for months about this exact cast.
Yeah.
But this was a good way to do it, and I'm happy they did, because it was kind of like the X-Men '97 release date where I was getting impatient. Like, just spit it out.
What about you, Brian?
It was underwhelming, but I think it was a lot of information in the picture, so that's why I enjoyed it. I didn't put it on our thumbnail because it's just when you look at the it's going to deal with space because you see Neil Armstrong, you see the picture in the background, right?
That's
Ben Grimm.
That's Ben Grimm.
Oh, so
that's Ebon, whatever the hell his name is.
So but we know we're gonna deal with space. You see the Time magazine. You know it's gonna be set in the '60s. The robot was there. I mean, but the old school uniforms.
Yeah.
And then I had to think, so how they're going to get from here to present day, which is like 2026, 2027, because they're always 2 or 3 years ahead of time. How are they going to do it? And then you think, okay, black hole or anything like that, they're going out to outer space, and they'll be able to deal with something like that. So I think it was interesting, but it's still underwhelming, especially when I've been waiting this long. They're supposed to release this in Comic-Con 2 years ago. Like this stuff was supposed to be happening, so they begin one thing after another. I mean, it's okay. I do want to hear Marvel talk about it, especially because they just did talk. They're just last week talking about Deadpool and all that stuff. They could have said they're going to have an announcement next week. They could have put some publicity behind it, but they just kind of casually dropped it. So it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if them dropping it so close to the Deadpool trailer is good or bad. You know what I mean? Because it could be good because Marvel's getting so much love right now because on how big the trailer is become. I believe it's the biggest trailer of all time on YouTube, like that, or the first 24 hours, something like that. Like it's huge. So it's like, all right, we're gonna continue this love train. It's on Valentine's Day. Let's throw this out there. But also, it, like you said, does feel a little underwhelmed. With it, where it's like, and here you go. But I like it. At least it's a picture, and you get a lot of vibes, like you said, Brian. You get a lot of information just in this one picture. So I'm digging that. It was cool. Waking up Valentine's Day, and Pedro shared this, and I believe all of them plan to share it on their social media pages and stuff. So it was cool getting the official announcement that so many of us already knew. But now it being official, it's interesting.
Well, how do you guys like the cast altogether?
I'm not sure I like any of it.
Any of it, really?
I'm not sure I like any of it, but I'm not a casting person, so I'm just going to let them do what they do and
Mhm,
judge it on its merits. But I'm not sure. I definitely don't like Pedro. I
mhm.
definitely don't like Joseph Quinn. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna just say, okay, you guys chose these people. Vanessa Kirby, I kind of like, but I don't think that's the way I would want the Invisible Woman to be. So whatever. I'm just gonna say okay.
I huh. Well, no. Before I get into it, what do you think, Tim?
I'm okay with it. Horgy says I love
Mhm,
Ebon as a thing. I enjoy
That's
that
the
one
one.
too. I
That's
like
the
that.
one I like.
That's one you
mhm,
like. I like Joseph Quinn. I think that's interesting. I dig him. He's not like obviously Eddie's the biggest thing he's done, but he's been in Game of Thrones. He's been in other things. This is gonna give him like a good shot. I think he's a pretty good actor.
mhm.
He's
Yeah,
young. I think he could be um kind of like, be who you were with Eddie, just less nerdy, less Dungeons and Dragony and more space nerdy. I think
No,
that'd
but
be
you
kind
also
of
have to
yeah.
like,
be cool. You also have to be cool.
Mhm. I
yeah,
think
but it's
I think
1960s.
he can. Yeah, he did kind of display a lot of the minus like the nerdy kind of eccentricities that he had as Eddie Munson.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him kind of having the confidence of
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Johnny.
I do not see the confidence because I always feel like he played for the audience. I don't see him having this tremendous confidence about him. I don't.
Mm.
I'm gonna wait it out. He's an actor for a reason. So he's not who I would have initially pictured to be Johnny Storm. I saw Johnny Storm as more of a like what's I'm not sure what a good comparison is, but like
Like
Chris Evans really
Chris
had it.
Evans. Chris Evans was a good Johnny
Perfect.
Storm,
He was
but I didn't
perfect.
think
Yeah.
he was going to be a good Johnny Storm. The dude was a rom-com dude. I was like, really? You're
Yeah,
going to
but
be
you,
in
but
this?
you can be if you're a rom com. That means you're attractive. Someone can enjoy
Mhm.
you. You can have that confidence. You can have that faith. He's also he could be. He was a football player and some of that stuff. Like you can see him in that role. I just don't see him in that role.
Mhm. I'm gonna
But
wait it
but
out.
it is what it is.
Mhm.
Just say
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sitting here like I'm
But
a
yeah,
great casting person. So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they
Vanessa
still like
Kirby
lining
though.
it up. Yeah, Vanessa, I
Yeah,
like a lot.
I do like that. It feels like that's the first time they've actually got the casting of Sue Storm right. Because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Just no, I'm not sorry. Jessica Alba wasn't it.
that's not
Yeah.
saying anything though. The first time they got it
You know,
right. They got it really wrong. So it's just like,
and it was yeah, she was just such a weird choice for Susan Storm.
Ever.
Plus, they made her look weird in
Yeah.
in in trying to like make her look as white as possible.
Mm.
It's just what were they doing?
I mean, the same thing what they did with Storm, with Halle Berry was like, oh, you're famous right now, so we're gonna make you be this. It didn't make any sense. You were just like the big, person at the time that we can put you in this role, which kind of
Yeah,
sucks.
that's all it was.
Yeah, that's all it was. But well, yeah, I like Vanessa Reed. Man, I'm kind of in the middle, man. Like, part of me is like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I really like Pedro. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it'll be
don't know.
interesting to see his take on the character. Definitely
Yeah,
not who I would have pictured,
no.
but and the dude he's a very safe bet because he's like a big franchise guy. Star Wars, he's been in Game of Thrones too.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us. Dude's just collecting big franchises like they're freaking Infinity Stones himself.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, he's a good actor.
he's a good actor, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm fine with the casting overall.
Yeah.
You know.
I still will like what's her name? Jodie Comer. I think I would have liked her better. I
can see it. I can see that.
I still like John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic better. Krasinski. I still will like him as Mr. Fantastic better. I think that they had better options, but it's not just Marvel's choice. Like, you don't just cast someone and they have to say yes too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why I'm like, the shoe goes both ways. You can't just like, oh, I want this person or I don't want this person. You know, and you can't say, oh, John Krasinski is too old and then hire Pedro Pascal. That doesn't make any sense. Like, this stuff doesn't make sense, but you don't know if he wanted it. You don't know if it was agreeable, if it was a contract negotiation. You don't know. So I got to say, I'm going to go with it and say, you know, we'll see. But I think those, I will like, you know, Jodie Comer. I will like John Krasinski more better. I will like someone better for Johnny. Just me, personally. But you know,
I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough of Jodie Comer to be able to pass judgment. I think one thing that I can see with
just looks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, one thing that I can see with Vanessa Kirby, she does kind of. I do kind of see her as that maternal figure for the group, which you know, I from an acting standpoint, I could see her really selling that. You know, Jessica Alba's version didn't really have that. She just bitched and moaned at Reed all the time. And then Kate Mara's version was just one big non-presence. She didn't do anything.
I mean, that whole movie was just a turd burger. So
yeah, I'm really interested. It ripped off The Fly, if you think about it, and I'm not sure how the director thought that was going to go over well. He ripped off The Fly so much with that.
I think I would have liked Jack Quaid better as Johnny Storm, but
as Johnny Storm.
And I think the reason why you stay away from him is because of The Boys. That's why you stay away from him. But as far as casting, I would have liked it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, you can't do it because of The Boys. You just gotta stay away from him.
I just feel like he's too like goofy. Because even when he was in Scream, he was kind of like goofy in Scream too.
Kind of dweeby.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
but anyone who's Dennis Quaid's son, I gotta he can probably do the coolness.
And Meg Ryan's son. Don't forget that.
I just gotta say that he probably could be cool. Just in my mind.
Yeah. Appreciate everyone coming in, checking us out on the replay. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know what you think about Fantastic Four, how you feel about all the casting, and make sure you come and join us live every Monday and Thursday. But we appreciate everyone in live as well. So stick around because we are going to move on to our next topic.